Hey, what's up, guys? It's Claudio here, and this may be the last race for a while. Due to the whole coronavirus pandemic, they're shutting everything down, so we were able to get this last race in before the big shutdown. Category 4, Randall's Island Criterium. This is a 40-minute timed crit. We got a neutral lap right here, as always. I have to say, they did a good job. We're supposed to be doing social distancing. And we all kind of spaced out, and no hugging, no shaking hands, things like that. So I felt all right going into this race. The spirits were still high, and everybody was excited for this opportunity. Let's see. For those of you who don't know, here are my stats. Age 37. FTP is 266. It's pretty recent. A couple weeks ago, and max heart rate is somewhere around 192, and I train about 10 hours a week on Trainer Road. So I'm going to talk about a lot of things. I'm going to play this whole video so you guys can see it. One thing to know is that at the very end, well, first of all, spoiler alert, I get dropped at like 37 minutes or something like that into the race, but that's a huge improvement. I was able to hang on. This race was not super aggressive from the beginning, so I survived somehow. Was able to ride in there, and it was a lot of fun. But man, I was getting dropped like almost every lap during the surges. I swear, I thought that I was getting dropped so many times, but I hung in there. And at the very end, after I got dropped, I got into like this little group of 3 people, and on the last lap, I did this kind of like pretend attack. Like, I attacked because I wanted to see what it's like to attack and what it takes to stay away. So I took the opportunity and I attacked, and I got a feeling for what it's like to attack, do like a last lap attack kind of thing. A lot of people do that on YouTube. A lot of people out there racing do that. And man, it's hard. It takes a lot. It's like a whole nother level of fitness that you need to attack and sustain, and then like sprint on top of all that. So check out the last lap if you want to see my little pretend attack situation that I did. Anyways, other than that, pretty fun race. This is the headwind section, pure headwind, and things slowed down a lot here. I was able to catch my breath because the whole group tended to slow down. What else? If you want to follow me on Instagram, I post all of my workouts on the stories, Claudio_Fierro. So check that out. Not sure what I'm going to be doing now because everything's shut down. Should I go back to base training? Should I keep doing intervals? The next race, like they shut down the Gran Fondo in New York. Canceled that. So won't be doing that. I really don't know what the next race is going to be. Maybe Bear Mountain, the Bear Mountain Classic in mid-May. I'm not sure if Dirty Kansas is still on. Like, I don't know. I might go back to base training, like sweet spot base training on Trainer Road. Big question mark. What are we doing? Just go back to base training? Anyways, so we are here, about to start the first lap, and of course there's always like some kind of big attack, and I've done this race. This is the 3rd one in the series, and I always blew myself up in this first lap. Somehow I survived, almost going off course there, but the key is just finding wheels and getting behind somebody and staying there, drafting. I'm like in the middle of the pack. I'm trying to let these guys fill in so I don't have to do all these micro efforts. And I know that on this turn everybody brakes, so I don't need to hurry up and catch up to them right here, right? Because they're gonna brake. I just try to brake late and then stay in there, stay on the wheel. And here, almost always I get gapped. And this is what fries me. I see this gap, and I have to close it. I have to do whatever it takes to close it. And I do it pretty quickly. I close it down. My heart rate is anything above 180 is I'm hurting big time. So I got up to 180 there, as you saw, for a moment, and luckily everybody slows down on this section, the headwind section, and I'm able to kind of recover and just like stay sheltered. That's pretty much what happened every lap, almost every lap. This whole section slowed everybody down. There wasn't a huge split, actually. This is in all the other races at this, the past 2 weeks, there was always a huge split after the first or second lap. So this stayed intact, which was it was different, right? I don't know if that was a strategy for the stronger riders, if they wanted to, if they just weren't going for that the same attack at the beginning to split the group up, or maybe it's just different riders. I don't know. But it worked for me. I was in there. I was able to actually kind of race, I was surviving, let's face it, but I felt like I was racing. And here, this is always a surge and just got to snap on a wheel. I finally got the idea that you have to close these little gaps down, or you're going to be left behind. So people are surging during this section, and it's not as aggressive as before. But I have to say, I did have my hands on the brakes a lot on this race. It's just speeding up, slowing down, speeding up, surging, and then falling back again. I think my pace was, the miles an hour was like 22 or 23 was the average. And my normalist power was somewhere around 245 maybe, I want to say. I think so. So what else to talk about? Okay, this turn here, let me see how I take it this time. Going 29, 27. Okay, I did a pretty good job there, relatively speaking. See how this guy on my right, how we're passing him? Now he might have had to brake, because I've been in that situation where you have to brake and then you lose your momentum, but I didn't brake and I was still at 27, and see how easy it was for me to continue and to stay in the draft. Now that guy got gapped with a bunch of other people. So that turn is really important if you can not grab a handful of brakes there, it saves you so much. And now it slows down, and of course they're able to catch, but maybe they had to put a big effort eating all that wind. So some of those turns I was really able to slide in there and keep my momentum going. Super key to save your legs so you don't have to surge out of them. And now remember this spot here, I got in the wind. I'm just trying to move up, but it's not good. It wasn't a good move for me because I just can't be out in the wind like that. I remember it took its toll on me. Now if you look at my heart rate, you can see the effort that I'm doing. I'm almost at 180, and that's not good. Almost at 180, and we're about to go into this section where everybody surges. Okay, kind of messed that up, but whatever. And now I'm getting gapped. Yeah, I got gapped, and I start flicking my elbows. Guys, go in and close that. See, I don't even have it. I don't have anything to put in there because I was in the wind, 20 seconds ago. I thought I was getting dropped here, 100%. All because I stuck my nose in the wind back there. So I gotta tell myself, I don't have that kind of fitness to ride in the wind. I gotta save my watts. You see, I'm struggling here, big time. So I'm trying to recover. I'm not looking at my Garmin at all, but I do have my heart rate on my Garmin. But clearly I'm not feeling well here at 180 BPM. Again, I thought that was it for me. right there. It looks like it. It totally does. I need to just hang on and to get behind some wheels. Let's see how I take the turn now. Okay, that's not bad. I sustained 28 miles an hour, which is good. So now I have to close this down. I have to really hustle, because if I'm in the wind in this section, it's just going to take so much out of me. I don't close it, but luckily they slow down. It saved me. You see what I mean? It's like there's a surge, and then on this section they slow down. It's basically every lap, and that's what saved me. If they had kept the pace up, 25 miles an hour, 26, forget it, I'm done. So I was lucky, and this race was really helping me out, the way that everybody was pacing and working through it here. So, not sure what else to talk about. Okay, actually, you know what? There's some people ask me about this Whoop band. This Whoop band is it's like a kind of a Fitbit type of deal that I've been using. It's an activity tracker. It tracks your recovery, and I have to say it's pretty cool. What it is you wear it all the time, even when you sleep, especially when you sleep, and it tracks your sleep, your recovery, your activities, because it's got a heart rate monitor on it. And it's basically telling you every day, it gives you a recovery score, like how well recovered you are and how much strain you should be able to take on that day. So like if I opened up my app right now, I'm going to check it out. Let's see what it's telling me. I'm going to record it here for you guys. Okay, I opened it up, and I'm at 44% recovery today. That means it's normal, and I can do kind of whatever, but it's not optimized for performance. I needed last night 8 hours and 15 minutes, and I only got about 7 hours. It's not terrible, but could be better. My day strain so far today, I have slept and I have taken a nap. So it's a recovery day. I'm gonna do like a 1 hour type of recovery ride later tonight. But that's my day so far. This is Monday, so the day after the race, recovery. So, what it means, what this app does. Okay, that was good. I'm watching the video now. I'm staying on those wheels. Gotta stay on those wheels. I like what I saw there, how I just stuck to that. Anyways, my one day, for example, the app told me that I was not well recovered. It was like I was in the red. I was in like the 20s or something, 20% recovered. And I was like, you know what? I don't care. I'm not gonna listen to this app. I'm just gonna do my workout. And then I had this like VO2 max type workout for 2 hours, and literally within 20 minutes of it, I was dizzy. I was like totally depleted. I just didn't have it. And sometimes you can push through that, but I totally didn't. And the Whoop band anticipated that. So now I'm starting to trust it. And the reason was because the day before I did this like long ride, 3-hour ride with a bunch of other intervals in it. And so, I just needed a rest that day. So I'm following along this Whoop band. I'm starting to trust it. It's been like 15 days, and now I'm trusting it. I'm really paying attention to what it's telling me as far as recovery and what I'm able to do that day. Sometimes I really have to change my workouts to a more recovery workout versus something that is really high strain. I have these trainer road workouts that are like 2 hours and like VO2 max efforts and all kinds of really nasty stuff. And I have to be very well recovered for that. So the Whoop Band, I'll keep talking about it throughout the season, but I think it's a good thing. I think I might be recommending it. I'm not sure, but I'll keep you guys posted on it. So we're at lap 5. We're just riding this race. What else to talk about? So talking about this effort that I do later on, the level of fitness that you need to attack, man. Like I'm in the middle of the pack and I'm struggling. To be in the front and to be attacking and then do that over and over, it just takes I can't imagine what it actually takes. Like, when am I even going to be able to do that? Maybe I don't think this season. I think maybe next season if I work my butt off. But I need a lot of work. If I'm getting dropped and stuff like this, I still need a lot of overall fitness. FTP type of fitness, more of the VO2 max kind of efforts. Just overall well-roundedness to be able to do something like that. You need to be able to surge and sustain. And sustain, like, in this case, like, somewhere above 350 watts or like something around there to stay away. I can't do that right now. 350 watts, it hurts. It's like I do that for a minute and then that's it. I need to rest. So again, this section slows down. It was a little sketchy, people, when things slow down, all of a sudden everybody's grabbing brakes and it's like, whoa, you gotta watch not to overlap. It wasn't terribly scary or sketchy or anything like that, but you could tell that people are on their toes here. At least I was. Also, another thing that I noticed, I recently got DI2 on my bike. I upgraded it, did it mostly myself, and then I took it to the pros because I didn't want to mess anything up. But anyways, I'm like missing. It's still taking me a minute to understand it. I guess it's really the third race, but here I would shift up instead of down or down instead of up. It kind of cost me a few things. Just because the buttons are slightly different, and maybe because I'm wearing gloves also. But it's super smooth. I think it's once I get the muscle memory down and exactly how it works, it's just gonna be the easiest thing in the world. So I do recommend DI2 if you have the budget. I got like some kind of Black Friday deal on the whole system, and it's a ton of fun. But also, actually, one thing is you have to remember to charge it, which is kind of annoying, like to charge your bike. And but on my Garmin it tells me the battery level, which is good. So, and I don't think it weighs more. Honestly, I really don't think. I think I saved actually a few grams somehow. I got the handlebars, these carbon handlebars, which have not been working out because they keep shifting, they keep moving around. No matter how much I crank them, something's going on. Maybe the hardware, or maybe just the way that it fits to my bike. They slightly moved. I mean, I didn't notice it until afterwards if I looked at it really well. They shifted over to the right a little bit because of all these right-hand turns, I guess. But like, a couple millimeters. But not cool. I need to get that looked at again, even though I went twice to the shop, but they told me that these, I got these like Chinese carbon handlebars. Chinese carbon, I mean like straight from the manufacturers in China, right? So you save a ton of money. I got them like $115 shipped. but they it's kind of sketchy stuff. Like, I mean, I researched it from lightcarbon.com, but the hardware is kind of crappy. Like, part of it is aluminum, and already one of the bolts is about to be stripped. But man, they're slick. They're really light, and they're solid. I just need to figure out what, the clamping mechanism is to make sure it stays right, because I cranked them down like as hard as I could. And they're integrated, so it works really great with Di2, all the wires and everything, and it's all in one piece, like the arrow type of handlebars. So I'm really into them, except for they keep moving around. It's not so cool. Let's see what else is happening in this race. Just more surging as usual. There's gonna be a surge here, and you gotta snap on those wheels. At one point, that's where I get dropped, right there. I just didn't have that extra snap. I did it too many times. It's like there's only so many times that you can surge like that, right? And I just didn't have it. I was like, done. And the group didn't slow down because it was like maybe 3 laps to go. People started to pump the pace, and that's it. So I really don't know. There's no way that I'm going to be able to talk through this whole video. So I'm going to let it run for you guys. Stick around for the end. I'll come back at the end to the last lap, to that little the little mini attack that I did. But thanks for watching so far. Let me just see how I take this turn. Am I good? I followed the wheel. But I got gapped, which means probably I pulled the brakes there, and now I'm paying for it. 700 watts to get back on that wheel, but I do a good job, because man, I hustle. I know that I have to get on that wheel or I'm gonna eat a lot of wind. Oh, it takes me a minute. So that's not good. Check out my heart rate. 183. Actually, I don't even close it. It takes me a while. It's not good. I'm in pain. Actually, I want to watch this for a second before going to the end. Okay, now I'm starting to draft, and I'm getting back into it. All these efforts, those little efforts, that 700 watt, that was a match that I burnt there. It just happens like every lap. And it's all because of how you take that turn, right? You grab the brakes, you're going to pay for it. Okay, guys, I'll see you on the last lap. All right, so this is not the last lap. 14 laps out of 16. Now this little group catches me, and then we have two teammates in the blue there, and this other guy. So they catch up to me, and what happens here is kind of interesting. One of the teammates takes off up at the front, and the other guy, they said something to each other. I didn't really understand what was happening, but they said it was like some kind of signal or something. And now I kind of understand that the guy up at the front, he's taking off, and his teammate was kind of blocking. And what I mean by blocking is that he's not going to chase his teammate. He's not going to do any work. He's going to let the other guys chase, and his teammate is going to try to go for whatever is up there, which is a bunch of really fast people. But maybe they were just exercising some team tactics for fun or whatever, which is cool. It's totally legit. But I think that's what was happening here, and it worked, because this guy is just kind of chilling out, letting his teammate go up. The other rider tried to hang on with that, tried to chase, but he never actually, bridged up. Oh man, I went off course there. I don't know what happened there. That was kind of off, but it took me. It took me some watts. I remember now to catch back on. I thought I was out, but I held back on. And now during this section, we're all getting torn apart. But anyway, so his teammate took off, and at this point we're competing for like 20th place, so whatever. It's like a fun thing to try to do. And then we're chasing the teammate, but it's kind of fun to pretend that that's like the front of the race, and like that guy is up trying to do like a solo breakaway effort. It kind of simulates that, but on our level that we're all dropped. So it was a little bit of team tactics, I would say, which worked well. And then the three of us, we just rotated, or not really rotated. I guess we kind of tried to work together, sort of, but not really. And let's just keep playing it so that you see what happens in a second. I'm going to try to attack on the last lap. Basically what I'm trying to do is just catch that one guy that went up the road. I'm trying to go up there. I'm trying to bridge to him, like in a race where things like that happen. You see a lot of them on YouTube. You see them everywhere. There's a solo breakaway rider trying to ride off, and then somebody has to bridge, and it takes like this huge effort. And you see people do it, right? And I really wanted to try, but the guy is up the road. I really, I don't know what I was thinking. Like I could actually. Okay, that's it's a bell lap, last lap. I was gonna try. I told myself, why not? What am I gonna lose? I'm already far behind, right? So, last lap, let's do something. Let's try things out. Doesn't matter. We're dropped, whatever. And here I go. So I go up to 900, whatever. And it was a pretty good, I gapped them fast. And I got my heart rate up. I'm trying to, I take this turn at 31 or 30 miles an hour, and it's hard. It's not as easy. I barely make it. So, and now it's straight into the headwind, and this is the part where you need that fitness. You gotta, I should be doing, I should have to sustain above 300 watts, but I can't. I'm burnt out, and I can barely do my FTP 250, 260, and I'm trying, but my heart rate is just, it's up, and I can't really work that hard when it's that high. I'm really like, surging and trying to maybe do 300 watts or something. I'm not looking at my Garmin, but I know that I'm going too slow. They're going to catch me. I'm wondering what they're doing back there. If they're really hustling, I imagine that it's hurting them. If they're trying to catch up again, to catch me, I mean, they're eating wind just as much as I am. But this is such a reminder that, man, you really need a ton of fitness to attack and then sustain. Here I'm putting another surge in there, but it's just like useless. I'm like going below 200 watts, right? So I'm kind of, I burnt a big match, which is like almost like the last one that I had, and then they catch me. And I don't know if they're hurting. I mean, probably. And now we're all back together. So it takes a lot. It takes so much fitness to be able to do that. I never caught that guy that was trying to catch. And then it's just the three of us, trying to make it to the finish line. I'm tapped out. Although my heart rate has recovered a little bit, this guy runs off course a little, and now I'm putting an effort to see what I can do here, how much I can scrape together on the last straightaway. I mean, I barely have 700 watts, but I sustain a little bit, and it's not really a sprint, but man, I really emptied it. It was, it took, I remember I was nauseous after this, after like getting out of this race. I was really nauseous. I'm glad that I did that mini attack situation, just to feel it out, what it takes to do that. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thank you for all the comments. I really appreciate all that stuff. Feel free to follow me on Instagram, DM me any questions that you might have about training, and thanks for following along. Hopefully we will have another video very soon, but if not, I'll see you on actually Zwift. If you're local, there's a Zwift race for the Prospect Park replacement race, whatever. It's on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. I signed up for it. So if you're out there Zwifting, if you've used Zwift, I'll see you at the Prospect Park race. Unfortunately, it's just like it's private. It's not open to everybody out there. But local cats, I'll see you there. And peace.